All right, we'll start with Dwayne right here in the first row.
Coach, you guys were up 7, I believe, in the fourth. And that was an opportunity to push it out there. What do you feel like didn't work or happen during that stretch?
Well, the turnovers just crushed us tonight. You know, we shot 50% from the field, but they got 19 more possessions. And, you know, over the course of the game, when you just give it up that many times, the turnovers and offensive rebounding was a bit of a hill for us to climb. But you're right, when you have that kind of a lead in the fourth, if we can just hold on to the ball and get good possessions, you feel like you can at least hold it there. And so, you know, I got to look at the film and see, was it schematics or was it just, you know, their defense? I'm not quite sure yet, but we certainly had a lot of self-inflicted stuff tonight.
All right, we go to Kellen Olson, second row, blue shirt.
Hey, Monty, when Book's sitting with foul trouble, what's that experience like for a head coach where you're just trying to get every single possession you can?
Yeah, because he's, you know, he could have gone for 50 plus tonight. I wanted to get him in maybe a minute earlier than I did. You're just holding on, trying to get as many stops and solid possessions as you can, but it's not an ideal situation. But I thought we managed it well tonight. We were able to get him back in when the game was still tight, and we actually had the lead, I think. And so the thing that's on my mind more than anything is how many possessions we gave them tonight, especially with us shooting the ball as well as we did. Certainly didn't generate enough threes, only 23. But to your point, it's not an ideal situation, but I thought we handled it better than I thought.
Follow up on that, a few of those turnovers were Chris and just very unlike him. Is he physically doing okay right now? Is as well as
he's fine. You know, great players have games like that. We expect him to bounce back. You know, he had 5, but we had 17, and they scored 24 points. You know what I mean? That was pretty much the game right there. And then you double that up with the offensive rebounding. So it wasn't just Chris. As a team tonight, we got to take better care of the ball.
We'll go to Dave McMenamin, third row.
Excuse me. Monty, there was a lob to Ayton that could have tied it, and Giannis made a great play on the ball.
Yeah.
So your perspective of what you saw there.
Yeah, they do a really good job of dropping back. Like you said, he just made a great play. We've run that play a lot this year and gotten the lob or the jump shot or the three on the backside. He just made a great play.
We'll go to Mark Medina, second row. Middle seat.
Obviously, Devin had the game that he had, but what did you notice about his mindset, even with the fact that he was getting fouls, that he was able to still play through all that?
Yeah, he was locked in. You know, we talk about that a ton. He had a really good workout yesterday, a somewhat of a decent workout, and then this morning he looked really good in our warm-ups, shoot-arounds. But his focus to play in all 3 levels tonight on offense was really good for us. That's just his mindset. We knew he was going to bounce back from the other night. He was drawing fouls himself, and that helps us when he gets to the line. But you know, if we take care of the ball and cut out 5 of those turnovers, he probably ends up with 50 tonight. You know, that's the way I look at it. But they're putting a lot of pressure on us, and we're doing the same thing with them. It's 2 good teams. We're 2-2. Like that's the deal. That's what I told our guys. We put ourselves in this position. We got home court advantage. I foresee him playing like that for the rest of the series.
Okay, we go to Gina, second row on the right.
Monty, to go back to the turnovers, just you guys have been such a low turnover team for the season. So I guess how surprising is it to see this happen on this stage, or just, what's kind of your take on it overall?
In my eyes, it's like a blip on the screen because we haven't played that way from a turnover perspective this year. Usually when we do, we bounce back and we're a bit more efficient. But give them credit. You know, they do a really good job of getting hands on balls. They were switching a lot tonight. There were times where we took advantage of it, and there were times where we tried to make passes that may not have been there because they're not helping off as much because of the switching. But this is not our normal 17 turnovers and live ball turnovers that turn into points. Like, we typically don't do that.
And one follow on Book too, when you say he looked particularly locked in during shoot around today, like what does that look like? I imagine, is it a look in his eye? I'd imagine it's more than just, oh, he made a bunch of shots in a walkthrough type situation.
It's the pop in the step when he's going through his shooting, and you know, our strength coach Corey was putting him through some stuff. I watched that today, and he was moving really well. So when he's moving like that and has his pop, you expect him to, you know, get by people and pull up on a dime for his shots. You know, he was curling, getting to the basket. When he can stop on the dime and get guys up in the air, you know, he has his legs underneath him. It's just something I see in the shoot around when he's working out. I can tell he's got his legs.
Okay, we'll take one question from Zoom.
We'll go to Greg Moore with the Arizona Republic.
Thanks, guys. Coach, thank you for your time. I wonder, do you attribute some of the turnover problems to a rhythm thing? You guys have longer in between games now, or is there something else going on?
Nah, I don't think so. They had the same amount of time off. They only had 5, you know, and we played really good half-court defense. Like I said, this is not our normal. You know, we're not going to have that many turnovers from our starting group. And, you know, I wouldn't attribute it to anything from a rhythm perspective. You give them credit. They played good defense, and there were times where we just, you know, gave it up, but I wouldn't say it's a rhythm thing.
Okay, we go to Steve, third row, middle seat.
Y'all had played them pretty even on second chance points the first 2 games of
Yeah.
this series. Other than Aiton's foul trouble in game 3, what's kind of made the difference these last 2 games that's enabled them to get the offensive rebounds?
They're coming to the glass with a great deal of force. We got to meet them outside the paint. It just boils down to that. You can't wait for those guys to get to the paint to try to box them out. When you look at the film of games against them earlier this year, they didn't go to the offensive boards like this. You know, the free throw box out environment, when the shot goes up, they're coming, and you got to meet them outside the paint. And we'll do a better job of that in the next game.
Final question, third row, last seat.
Hey, Monty, you guys held Giannis to 26 points. I'm curious how you felt about like how you guys built that wall, and then he also had a series high 8 assists. So how did you feel about the balance of him being a scorer versus playmaker?
Well, I think we're trying to give him some different looks, especially in the half court. I thought our guys did an unreal job in the half court. We were doubling him at times and firing out to their shooters, just trying to take him off of his rhythm. In transition, the wall was a lot better tonight. It's something that we can get better at.
Okay, first question, we'll go to Dwayne right here in the first row, right seat.
Devin, I know you're all about winning, but you had the huge night, 42 points. How are you even rationalizing having the big night, but you guys not being able to finish the game and coming home?
It doesn't matter at all. You know, I said that after last game too, when I struggled shooting it. The main objective is to win the game. So anything that goes on throughout the game, it doesn't matter for real.
Quick follow. You guys were up 7, and I know when you were sitting. What did you see that got them back in it? Was it more of what you guys didn't do or what they did?
I mean, that's a tough question, but, I'd say a little bit of both. I think 17 offensive rebounds, 17 turnovers. So that's on us as a team.
Okay, we're staying in the first row. Go to Rachel.
Book, what was it like on the sideline when you were carrying those 5 fouls and you were waiting to go back in?
It's tough, but I think we, the group that was out there was holding it down, defending at a high level. It's just, we have to close possessions, and that's obviously something that hurt us tonight. So, yeah.
Okay, we go to Kellen Olson, second row.
Hey, Book, points off turnover, second chance points. You guys have been so good there all year, and then these last two games, they've been killers. How do you guys just get back to what's been working there?
I mean, just be physical early, on both sides. I think I picked up my fifth foul being aggressive, trying to box out PJ. They're coming at full speed, and we know that, and we understand that.
Okay, we go to Gina, second row, right seat.
Book, Monty mentioned that he saw over here. Yeah, that he saw in shoot around this morning that you just kind of had this pop in your step. And so I'm just curious what the last 2 days had been like coming off of game 3. And did you kind of feel similarly this morning that like, okay, I've got my legs under me. This could be a good night for me.
Yeah, just resting our bodies, getting treatment, and just getting ready for the game that was tonight. And that's the same routine we're gonna do going into game 5.
We go to Mark Medina, second row, middle seat.
Chris and Devin, what do you guys think it counted overall for the 17 turnovers?
It was me. I had 5 of them. You know what I mean? It was bad decision making. Timely, we down 2, and I try to cross over right there, slip, turn it over. I had some bad passes in the first half. You know what I mean? They got, a significant amount more shots than us. And so, for me, I got to take care of the ball. If we got 17 turnovers, we shoot the ball too well not to have those opportunities to score.
Okay, we go to Zoom for 2 questions.
We're going to go to David Aldridge with The Athletic, followed by Cameron Cox.
For both guys, are adjustments overrated when you get to game 4 of the finals? Is it just about execution and executing better as opposed to anything that they did to take things away from you guys down the stretch?
I mean, at this point, both teams know each other. You know the sets. They can call out our plays. We can call out our plays. It's about execution. You know what I mean? So down the stretch, we got to box out. I got to box out. We got to execute. We're a team that's closed out games like that all season long. So this is a tough one, but we got to bounce back. That's why we fought all season to get home court.
All right, we'll go to Cameron Cox with 12 News.
Hey, Book, Chris just mentioned it, but how frustrating is it not to be able to close this one out, especially when you guys had that lead in the fourth quarter?
I mean, it's really tough whenever you can't, win a game, especially at this point in the season.
Any other questions for Chris or Devin? All right, go back to Dwayne, first row.
Yeah, Chris, being in this situation, it's 2-2. Obviously it's a series, and then you guys got the home court. What do you want to see in the next 24, 48 hours from you guys to know that we're moving in the right direction going into game 5?
You can't just bank on the fact that you got home court. You got to go out there and play the game. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and execute. So we'll do that. We tend to respond well, but it's easy. We know what we got to do. Be better.
All right, we go to Steve, third row, middle seat.
For Devin, I'm just wondering, you were on such a roll for most of the night. You sit about 5 minutes there in the fourth quarter with the fouls. When you got back, did you feel like you were in the same rhythm you were before, or did that throw you off at all, having to sit as much as you did there in the fourth?
No, I was still in rhythm. It's a mindset more than anything, and I was still there, but that's besides the point, to be honest.
All right, if you have a question for Cam, please raise your hand. All right, let's go to Gina, second row on the right.
Cam, you guys have been so good at closing games like this out all season long. Just what do you feel like was the difference tonight?
Turnovers and offensive rebounds for them. In games like this, such high stakes, when you give them run out points, that's big swings. Those are tough. And then the rebounding aspect, you get some long ones when you're trying to get in there and put a body on them, and sometimes they're just taking some bad bounces, but we got to be better on that end for sure. I know myself, I can't leave a game with just 1 rebound. So a lot to learn from, a lot to look at. But turnovers and rebounds, can't have them.
All right, let's go to Steve, third row, middle seat.
Just wondering, when you're able to survive that stretch in the fourth quarter, when Devin's on the bench and you still have the lead when he's back in there, just what's y'all's confidence level like going into there when he's back on the floor? You've been able to kind of weather the storm there.
A lot of confidence because we got guys who like Gina said, have been really good in these situations. But no matter what, we always know it's going to be tough. Confidence doesn't make you think, oh, this is going to be easy. It's going to be a cakewalk. Confidence is saying we got to buckle down and finish the job. And, you know, hey, they made plays on the stretch. They made plays. They hit shots. They got rebounds. And they got stops. But a hard-fought game all throughout, hard-fought game.
All right, let's go to Dave McMenamin, third row.
Cam, is there any sense of shell shock considering it seemed to be that you guys were controlling the action most of the way, and then it was just, you know, from the turnovers to the block by Giannis to Middleton scoring, and then all of a sudden, you know, they kind of had it.
Shell shock is definitely not the word. This is the finals. It's the finals. You're not going to get away with anything easy. You're not going to coast to any victory. I'm sure they go and say the same thing. It's 3 more, you know. 3 more. You got to get 2 of those. But there is no such thing as coasting here. It's high stakes, very high stakes. They know it's on the line. We know it's on the line. We came here up 2-0. You know what they were talking about in their locker room. And now you know we're going to be talking about in our locker room.
All right, let's go to Kellen Olson, second row on the left.
And with what you were saying on points off turnovers, second chance points, you guys have been usually great there all year. Is there a certain amount of confidence you can have going into game 5 that's Monty described it as a blip? Like you guys rarely do that confidence to change that going forward.
Yeah. It's not a panic. There's no hitting the panic button right now. You go back home and look at it and adjust. I think we did some things better this game than we did last game. Just ultimately wasn't enough to finish the deal. You come close sometimes, but that ain't enough. Obviously, it's not enough.
All right, let's go to third row on the left.
Hey, Cam, I know it came in a loss, but how special was Book tonight with just some of the shots that he was making in that 18-point third quarter?
You knew it was going to happen. You know, he wasn't gonna have another tough night. You know, he's gonna get to it and he's gonna get buckets. That's just what he does. He's a great player. He's one of the best players in our league. But it's good to see him hitting shots. I think that's something that he'll keep up, just given what he's done in this season and in his career.
Final question. Let's go to Dwayne Rankin in the front.
Cam, you got a scratch right here of A, how, and B, how physical has this series been?
I haven't seen it, obviously, but yeah, it was on that drive when I went to the ground. So, you know, it's been physical the whole entire time, man. I mean, it's hit after hit after hit. And trying to keep these guys off the glass hit after hit, but you gotta love it. You gotta embrace it. This is what we all dreamed of, being in this situation, right? And there's no time to hang your head. There's no time to pout. This is 2-2 in the NBA Finals. We have an opportunity to do something really special. And one thing Coach has said in the past is each game takes on a life of its own in the playoffs. And, you know, from a distance, it's like, you know, 7-game series, if a team beats you one time, but no, it's every game takes on a life of its own. We got to be ready to capture the next ones.